The video y'all is about to see right now, I'm dropping it no edit, straight raw cut. I'm gonna see how y'all like it. And if y'all like it, I'm gonna keep doing them, right? I'm gonna keep coming with stories. I'm gonna keep coming with more impactful, meaningful, motivational videos, all right? So, like I said, no edits. I'm just straight dropping it just like it is. Only thing I might change is the background, and that's it, all right? This is for my raw, true fans who really want to know me, who really want to see who I am, all right? Let's get into the video. All right. So tonight we're gonna do something a little bit different, all right? We're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about who I am, right? I feel like I haven't done that enough. I haven't really made a video of me and like who I am and stuff like that. So I'm gonna make one today. Well, who I am. My name is Davon. I was born in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, but I was raised in Greene County, Alabama, formerly known as Utah, Alabama, EUTAW. I stayed out, as a child, I stayed all over the place within Alabama, Tishby, Bowler G, places that, you know what I mean, that's known down there. People stay down at Tishby, Bowler G, Mount Hebron, Utah, Union, Clinton, a little bit. But yeah, we just stayed a few places down there. Demopolis, Livingston, a few places, right? And with all that, you know what I mean, my mother, she was a moving lady, you know what I mean, but she always kept a job, always kept it moving, right? So I learned a lot from her. I learned a lot of just working hard, labor working, you know what I mean? But as a youngin', I had two siblings that I also was with. I was also amongst. And I was the middle child. So, you know, being the middle child, you know what I mean, you pretty much get both sides of the spectrum. And plus, my oldest was my brother, and my youngest was my sister. So, as we grew up, you know what I mean, we start building our own personalities and things like that. So, and I don't know, as I was maturing, I always felt like I wanted to do more and be more. I feel like it wasn't enough what my mom was giving me. Like, even though she was trying hard and it wasn't enough, I feel like I wanted more all my life. I wanted to see more. I wanted to do more. So I kept striving through all the things I was going through. I kept striving. I kept pushing. I kept pushing. I kept being self-motivating myself. Just kept going and kept going as a youngin', right? So as I become a teenager, well, on the way to a teenager, you know what I mean, once again, we had it, but we didn't have it like that. It started to change. So we go into high school, we seen other kids have different shoes and stuff like this, and then we didn't have it. We wasn't able to have it like that anymore for some odd reason. Still don't know. Well, I understand a little bit now because I'm older, but when I was younger, I didn't really understand. So, with that being said, you know, I kind of grew within myself. When I become older, I don't know what I want to be, but I want to be successful. I'm going to be successful. And it stuck with me. But as a kid, I didn't have a real stable house when it comes to a man figure, because my mother moved to Alabama by herself. And my father was up north. And once again, she had to be the mother and the father, and sometimes she wasn't strong enough, and I can see it. But never did I put too much on her, because I knew, like, I seen things. My mama always thought I didn't see so much, but I remember I seen things where she was breaking down and stuff like that. So that's why I love my mama so much now, because I understand. I don't understand to the capacity because she had us 24/7. And she had to attend and three kids at the, so like she go to the school, she gotta watch, she gotta go see three kids. She just don't see one. She buy one pair of shoes, she gotta buy three pair of shoes, right? So with that being said, it was the money was very frugal at times. But as we got older, we understood the meaning of having that, the haves and have-nots. So what I did was I took it upon myself and I said, Mama, at the age of 15, Mama, I want to get a job. Okay, cool. So I started working at this grocery store, making I think like $7.50 an hour, and it was a lot to me because I remember this is the back when time where classic Reeboks was one of the main shoes. So that was one of the shoes I gravitated to because I always wanted Air Force. I remember Nelly came out, and that's around the same time, around the same era when that was going on. I always wanted a pair of white Air Force One, but we couldn't afford them. My mama, she wasn't getting them for me because of the color. It was white, a solid color, and she knew that was the only shoe I would have for a while, so I couldn't get that shoe. And once again, now I understand because I have a son now, and he's not hard on shoes, but I know he wears his shoes and he wears them. Like, he don't play with them, he wears them. Not saying he doing bad, but he just wears his shoes to the fullest, and I respect that. I love my son for that. But at the same time, my mama, she knew that I would have one pair of shoes, so you know what I mean, I had to choose wise, so she chose for me. And once again, that kind of grew some of my heart where people were coming to school with different pair of shoes on and stuff like that. So that puts them once again in my head. I got it. I'm going to get that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Right? But never hating and none of that stuff like that. I never was mad. I never got angry at them or hate a person for that or anything or disliked it for anything because at the end of the day, it wasn't them. It's their mother buying the shoes for them. I just liked the shoe they had on. At a young age, I was very mature for my age. Like I knew when not to do things and when to do things. But sometimes I still was a child, so I was still naive to certain things in my life. So, like I said, life got a little harder for us, you know. And I mean, when I mean hard, I mean where no food was in the house, we sharing clothes. Sometimes we barely even ate, you know. Like, for real. And do I miss those days? Back in those days, yeah, I miss those days. Cause them days were the days where you really seen who was who. You know, like even with my family, even though we're not on the best terms, I'm gonna be honest with you, I still love them to death, you know. And that's the honest truth because them are the people I really broke bread with. Like really sharing clothes and sharing food and like eating food after each other, all type of stuff like that. That was my family, right? So once again, that grew something in me to where like I want that family I had when I was younger. So I started chasing it. So I got married young, right? But before that, what was leading up to my marriage was that I started getting in trouble while I went back down south where I was at. I was turning 17, 18. Well, let's go back to when I got my first job. I got fired because I skipped a day off. I skipped a day at work because I wanted to go play in the band because I was bad. Like people know from where I was at and where I'm at. You know what I mean? I was pretty good at what I did. You know, as a percussion player in my high school band, right? So. How good I was in middle school running section leader at a high school band, reading music and playing it, right? So that's how good I was, but once again, I was dedicated to it. I had them sticks in my hand every day, playing, hoping that one day I was gonna go to college and get my ticket out of here because everybody I seen around me, where it was out, was going to college. So nobody even had to tell me like that was the route. I knew that was the route because everybody was going that route. So what I did was I started planning my mind to go that way. But I didn't really like school. I didn't really like I was so antsy and so like just I wanted to do other things. I just couldn't sit there and do work. because it was just I didn't like it, but I managed. So after that, I went to churches, which was across the street, and we had this little friendly rival, was be like the grocery store against you know what I mean, the restaurant, because it was like, and we just clashed with Wood, and when I mean we was across the street from each other, we would cross the street from each other, and Woods would be out in the grocery store cleaning stuff out or on break in the back of the grocery store, you know what I mean. We look across the street and my guys and them over there, well, our friends and everybody over there, we just acting like we beefing, but we really ain't. It's just a little friendly rival thing, you know. We'll go to their store, they talk crazy. We come to our store, they talk crazy. But it's all love. Just that type of fun we had when we was younger. Just that's how it was back in the day when we was growing up, right? And so after that, you know, time start moving, and I start getting better things in my life, right? Because I had a job then I left Piggly Wiggly with the churches, which my homeboy got me on there, and I went up. So had new shoes, paying the bill in the house. So I feel like I'm the man now. So now I'm trying to, you know what I mean, save up and get me a car now. But all that got railroaded because once again, the poverty around me had struck in our home, and it struck in it bad. And it caused things to happen and transpire to where I quit. Because I refused to, you know? And that was me taking a stand for myself because I thought I was grown. But I felt like if I was putting in the work, I feel like I was able to keep it. And that's how I feel now. Like I feel like if I work for it, I should get paid for it. Or not even should get paid for it. The time I put in, I should get paid for it, right? Just like a 9 to 5. Just that simple. If you at work, you feel like you should get paid for it. So it's like this is how it is. It's how you make our livings right now, right? So that's how I felt when I was younger, even in the house. That was kind of rebellious, but now that I look at it in hindsight, but then it wasn't, because I feel like I earned it. I was the one putting in the work, walking home and catching rides and bringing food home because we didn't have food. Like pretty much being the man of the house. And my older brother did it too. I'm gonna be honest with you, he did it too. And it's so crazy how the curse, how not a curse, but how the world turned with the people that you're around and the bloodline and the genes, right? Like everybody pretty much going the same pattern. Just because once again, you only know what you see. And that's why I try to expose my kids to a lot of things, you know, because I feel like it's very important for them to see different things because they will remember it. Because I remember when I was younger, different things I seen when I was younger, I can remember now, and it humbles me for where I'm at now in life, because now I'm traveling. I got a passport. I'm traveling across the world now, and I can sit on a beach across the world and remember when I was in my mother home, wishing, looking at the clouds, wishing and knowing that one day I'm gonna be somewhere where it's nice like this, and I'm gonna be relaxing, and I made it, and not once but a few times. And I say that to say this: no matter what you've been through, no matter what your background is, no matter who you are, no matter how you came out, no matter the outcome, you know, no matter the starting point, you can always finish strong. You can always make it to where you need to be at. You can always make it to where you want to be at in life if you keep pushing. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still fighting. I'm still going, and I'm not stopping. Because at the end of the day, have a goal I'm trying to meet. I'm trying to see a wealthy life before I go under the ground. I want my kids to be good, where they won't have to stress about anything when it comes to finances. And if it is, it's because of things that they're doing, or things have changed in the world where finances are more. It's not what it used to be when I was here. I want to be to a point where I'm feeding their kids. They remember grandpa who started this off for them. Like, I want my name to live on, and it's gonna live on. So that's why I do this right here, this content. It's because I want to leave my digital footprint on this earth for people to see and people to go back to. Whether it's me, maybe it's the things that I'm saying that helps you and helps you on through life and helps you keep pushing. Because once again, we all been to a point where life had beaten us up so bad to where we just want to give up. But something in us always tells us to get up and keep going. And then when we get up and go, we feel like that sometimes that fuse, it dies because we let that hunger consume that fire, and we shouldn't do that. That's the smoke that's putting it out. No, keep going. Make that fire burn. Like a phoenix. No matter what nobody tell you, who you are, what you're doing, you know the power you possess. You know what you're doing. Deep down inside, whether you can't fool yourself, you can't do nothing because you know yourself. You see whatever, everything goes on, you see it, you feel it, you think it. Shouldn't nobody come between you and your goals. Because at the end of the day, you want to leave this world unhappy? Think about it. Or leave with the regrets? I say do it. I say keep going. But me, myself, once again, I was growing up pretty grown, you know? I was growing up pretty grown. Back to the story. I know I kind of reared off, but back to the story. I felt like I was grown. I started dating. And it wasn't a thing where I was just out here dating. I was secretly dating. I don't know. It's just me and my privacy, you know? I like to have that. Because I don't like everybody in my business, you know? So what I was doing was, I was dating, but I was dating females within the where I was at, but I was quiet with it, right? We only moved at night where people didn't really, you know what I mean, we didn't know we were doing, where we was going. That's how it was down in the country. It was like pretty much, when it was dark, because it was the country with number of woods around us in these apartments, right? So that's how I moved. Even to this day now, like I move the same exact way. I don't be bragging or boasting or things like that, because it's, or not even that. It's just I don't show too much. I don't want it to come off like I'm bragging and boasting, because I don't be. It's just the way I live, and I'm happy about it. I'm confident about it. I'm a humble man, and I understand how to be on the other side of the coin and not be humble and be cocky and to get taken away, where I have to start all over again and rebuild with a whole different attitude and a different way of living. And I feel like your checkpoints should be like my checkpoints is when things are continuing to go good. I might have a hiccup or two, but things continue to flow like it's supposed to. Just like a heartbeat, right? That's why I have tattoos on me, and one of my tattoos have a heartbeat in it, and that's what it means. It means the love, the pulse, the life, you know? With a heart, a green heart. It have a few meanings, only a few meanings to it. But that's one of the meanings it means. It gives me life. It helped me push. It helped me understand that life is a pulse. It's going to be up and down. But as long as you keep going and keep pushing, you should be all right. You should be okay. And that's when things started going like a pulse, a heavy pulse, right? As I had turned a teenager and went to jail. Almost caught the gun charge because I want to hang with the crowd, right? And the crowd I was hanging with wasn't even the crowd I should have been hanging with, because I should have known from the jump what that crowd was, what that type of crowd was. But hey, I'm cool now. I got my own name for myself. I know who I am. I'm confident. I ain't hanging with everybody. Straight. Then boom. The enemy came and tried to knock me down. I was doing good in school, in band, all this good stuff, but it seemed like when the summertime comes, you ain't got nothing to do. You just pretty much just out there, right? And it's so crazy how I think of it now, how much idle time I had in the summertime, where I could have really seized the moment and did more. in my summer to capitalize when I got to high school, when I got back in school. Because when I got back in school, I was pretty much prepping as I go as school was going on. When I should have been prepping before school, mentally, having a game plan of knowing like when I get up and go to school, what I'm gonna be doing. All right, this is my schedule for today when I go to school, and I use that and I move it, right, and I go by it. Have a different mindset of I gotta do this class, be done with it, do that class, be done with it. But instead, every day I got up, played around, chopped around, took a test. I barely scathed by, and I kept on going, right? And I kept getting mediocre grades. But at the end of the day, I kept passing. I didn't really get no more punishment at home because I was grown now. My mama had her situation going on, and it was like she didn't really have an eye on me anymore because I was just pretty much doing what I wanted to do there at the point. But as long as I was coming home at night and staying out of jail, coming home alive, right? So things start changing. Like I said, things start changing. I end up in jail. Then after that, get out. I get in trouble again. I want to go steal. And like not stealing, but like pretty much I stole. But it was something cocky, right? Something very cocky, and I shouldn't have done it. But it happened. And not only did I do that, I had the jury on my social media stunting and posting like it was a trophy. Like I dare somebody to play with me. And I was, like I said, once again, I was quiet. I wasn't the one to be out here toughing and buffing. If I knew it was a crowd around, I'm not finna do all that. I'm like, whoa. But if I catch you by yourself, I'm gonna do my best to do what I have to do to make sure you know what it is, right? So that's how I moved when I was younger. And it worked. It worked. Certain things didn't come my way because they knew they was gonna catch me walking one day, and I was gonna try to. Cause I kept a chain with me in my I had a drawstring that I backpacked when they first came out. I had a big chain in my bag. Everywhere I went, I had a chain. Everywhere I went. Because at the end of the day, I ain't want to kill nobody. I didn't want to unalive nobody. But I wanted to respect it. Don't bother me, and I won't bother you. Sometimes it was challenging because you gotta just like I was pretty much in the conflict of my mama rules and pretty much doing what I had to do because I ain't had time for my mom. Because when my mama put the fear of God in me, she put the fear of God in me. You know, so certain things I wasn't gonna do. I feel like my mama was gonna put right. So I avoided a lot of things from happening. I avoided a lot of things from going on and going like things could be detrimental to my life. Now, no, I turned from it. And looking at hindsight, I did a good thing because now a lot of things now that I'm grown don't tempt me. It don't really tempt me unless it's dealing with my kids. And sometimes now it got to the point not even that now because I understand that things gonna be all right with all situations. You just gotta take your time and understand what's going on out here. But as I got older, I got married, and I was like 20, 21. When I got married, very young. So I felt like I was a man. I moved up north by myself. Caught the Greyhound when I was 17, 18 years old. Caught the Greyhound up here, and that was it. And I mean like a 13, 14-hour ride. Yeah. A long ride on a Greyhound. Me. And I did it. Because guess what? I wanted better. And I told myself, if I found the way out, I was gone. And that outing presented itself with my ex-wife. They invited me to come up here, and I did it. I made a decision. So I left everything behind. It was sudden. Like it was one day, hey bro, I'm gone. I'm moving out. I gotta leave because things are not working out here. I gotta take the chance because I felt like deep down inside, this was my time to go and make something out of myself. Because if I didn't, I felt like I was gonna be somewhere I didn't want to be now. So I did it. my homeboys and my thought I was playing, but I really did it, and they start seeing like, you really for real? I'm like, yeah. So we said our goodbyes and everything like that, and it hurt me dearly. But once again, I didn't show it. I waited till I got by myself and I let it be. You know what I mean? I let it out because I knew I wasn't coming back. I knew that was it. I knew life was going to change with me, and I'm knowing this at a young age. I'm knowing this. I felt it. And then when I got up here to the city, it was pretty cool for a minute. It was kind of hard. So I went back home because it just wasn't fitting right. Start getting into my in-laws and stuff like that over the pettiest things, right? It was pretty much mentally. They was trying to mentally, bring me down, if I could say that. And things, as a young man, things happen and stuff like that. Didn't feel good about it at all. So I left. I left, and I came back up here because once again, down there wasn't nothing going on. I see that, hey, this ain't working or whatever. So this is what I did. I came back up here. I got in school. I enrolled myself in school. Then what else? I got a job at McDonald's. My first job up here with the McDonald's. And let me tell you, it was. I knew it wasn't enough just from the walk up. I knew it wasn't enough, but once again, I gave my all. I went up there and I was dressed with a shirt, tie, slacks, everything. And I got the job. And it was like, the woman was I think her name was Miss Jennifer was my supervisor. I think her name was Miss Jennifer, if I can remember. Or Miss Linda. But I remember her face though, and everything like that. But she was my supervisor. She gave me a talk at that interview. She was like, also, I forgot what we was talking about, and it was just pretty much going on. And then we got to the end of the conversation. She was like, but always remember, never burn a bridge because you never know when you got to cross it again. And I don't know, for some reason to this day it stuck with me. I remember sitting at what I had on, what we had, everything. I remember it all. And to this day, she was telling the truth. Never burn that bridge, and that bridge can burn in beef, it can burn in help, it can burn in all types of ways. And you might need that person again. So sometimes things are better to be, just left alone. Let it be okay, because you never know. When you got to cross that bridge, the opportunity might come where you might need that person, right? And that's just the honest truth. When you're out here doing business, you might need the next person, because they might have what you need, or not even that. They might have information that you might need. So that's how I think about that when it comes to that. And it like I said, it's true. I got that job. I'm building the mindset of I want to be something bigger at this job. I want to be a manager. How do I become a manager? So I start working, improving myself, and then when they ask the question, I engage with the opportunity. And as I was doing it, becoming a team lead, I quit because I was working at. Then I got at Long John Silver's for a while, and I was working both of them at the same time. But I was making more at Long John Silver, and I was going to become a team lead there. Once again, I got McDonald's and Long John Silver with two different beasts. McDonald was like I'm gonna say middle school, right? And Long John Silver. Now I'm gonna say. Put it like this. I'm gonna say it like this. McDonald's was like Beverly Hills. Long John Silver's was LA South Central. Right? When I mean it was the trap, it was the hood. Like it was going down, and it was going down. Right? Customers, everything. It was, every night, pretty much almost every night, something was happening entertaining at the job. And then once again, I was becoming to become a team lead there, and I was like, nah, I don't think I want to do that, because once again, I'm not getting paid enough. Just not paying my bills, and then giving me something where I could be comfortable, right? So I quit and I went to warehousing because they said warehousing make more money. With the warehouse, I'm like, oh, okay, it's a little bit more money, but once again, it's not enough. So then I learned that in warehousing, in order for you to make the money, you got to move up So always in my mind was like, let's try to get up to that level to get that money. So that's what I did. I showed myself approval of, yes, I could be a leader. Yes, I can do whatever need to be done. Yes, I can hold a team. I can push a team. And also get the job done respectfully with a peaceful day. And once again, it was already in me because I was already meant to mind about being persistent on what I wanted to do in life and what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. I didn't know how. And also I always had this vision in my mind, this silhouette in my mind about how my life was going to be. And I'm going to be able to sit back and say, hey, this the silhouette you was talking about. You always thought about. This is it right here. And it's coming. It's very soon, so I can feel it. It's coming. That day gonna come where I'm gonna remember the whole. Now I'm here. I'm living in it. But yes. So I wasn't always the outspoken guy. I was kind of like closed in, bottled in a lot. I didn't want to be seen, but because of, once again, my eyes, it made me be seen. People wanted to see me. So that kind of brought me out of my shell. But after that, once again, life got harder because I wanted to move out on my own and do my own thing. But I didn't understand life, how to pay bills and manage stuff like that. So I got married young, naive, and boom, had kids. Had my first son, had my first boy. And let me tell you, it started making my mature gauge tick even more. I didn't want to hang out. I didn't want to do nothing but invest in him. I started going to the gym when I had my son. I wasn't even going to the gym before I had my. I was doing it when I was in high school, but it wasn't like that. But like, I started going to the gym when I had my son because I felt like in order for me to be around for him to see him grow, I had to be healthy. And I could go back to my social media page. You can see that was when I started, when I had him. Because I felt like that's what I need to be doing to make sure I'm here with him every single day until I can't no more. Till this car start ticking and ticking and ticking. Until then, I'm gonna make sure everything is running, up and running. And thus far, it has been, and I've been watching him grow, and I am so in love with it, the ups and the downs. Then after that, I had my daughter, and then that kind of brought the mushiness out of me. The mushy man, the more of a sense of humor when I had her, because I knew I had to be happy, I had to smile, I had to be more open to things, because I knew she was gonna have me like that, right? So I started preparing for that at a young age. But at the time of her born, maybe I was only there like full time for maybe 1 or 2 years. And it broke me down because I knew that little girl needed me there at that moment, because it's nothing like daddy love to a little girl. Now it's better because I see her, I'm with her pretty much almost every other week for the most part. I see her every week, at least I see her every week. So it's there, but I know it's going to get better for sure. Because she know daddy love and I love her. But once again, it brought the more mushy out of me, the more joy out of me. So now I've become a more open person now with more sense of humor and things like that. Because when I'm happy, even when I'm at work or I'm out somewhere and I'm feeling down, I want to say something happy. And I'm like, man, I ain't want to say nothing. But then I think about those kids, like, you know what, why not, man? I'm going to just be happy. Because I guess I ain't really got nothing to be mad about. And that brought that out of me. So now at work, I'm bringing it out. Okay, he's more understanding, cool, this and that, but then also that outside of work. So it was kind of easy for me to be this person now because I knew them kids brought that out of me. Then after that, I'm starting to live. Me and my ex-wife separated about 12 years later. Pretty bad. Once again, that was a moment in my life where, when things was at the bottom, I was at rock bottom, like right under the ground. That's how I felt. I felt like life was moving around me, but I was sitting still, if that makes sense. Meaning I could sit in a room all day, no TV, no food, cotton mouth and all, and just sit there in that same spot and don't move. Don't use the bathroom, nothing, just sit there. Depressed. Watching the sun come up, I literally would lay back in that spot and just sleep, and then get back up and just sit there. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I probably go to the bathroom a few times, but like just I'm back in that spot, just sitting there all day, all night. And then I finally got back to work. And I started back working with her. Once again, I took a night shift job because all throughout the day I was up trying to once again uphold and manage my kids, because once again I had to keep them. That was my responsibility at the end. No matter what happened, I have to be there for them. So watching them going through what I'm going through, stressed out, going back and forth, with her, and once again it took me through hell. I didn't have family. Nobody up here to run to and go talk to or go stay with. None of that. I was up here by myself, 10 toes down to this concrete, figuring it out. Paying for a nasty hotel with roaches in it, in the microwaves, in the bed, you sleep, crawling on you, all type of stuff. And then I moved to I moved to like maybe 3 or 4 hotels before I finally got my stuff together. And with them hotels, they cost. They cost a pretty penny. Let me tell you. But after that, once again, I kept hope. Even through the nights of crying at work, I'm boohoo crying at work for no reason. I'm stressed out. Gotta keep a job, so I gotta be out here. Even though I don't want to be at work, I gotta be at work. I'm fighting through it. Mentally going through it. That fire it's just trying to strike in me, right? That fire trying to strike in me now, right? Because once again, in my mind, this ain't it. It's more. I'm not finna be living like this. I seen when I was younger how people was living. I don't want to live like that. My life is not going to end up like that. I didn't come this far to live like that. So what I did was I kept going. And I got out of that rut. So what I'm telling you is, no matter how much that hotel is, no matter how much you got to pay, how much food is, what I did was I paid for that hotel room, and I went to Dollar Tree. This is when Dollar Tree had started making the food and the food, processed food and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, I'm in the game now. So I went and I racked up on food, and it worked. And I got my stuff together. And when I got it together, I moved it to my home. And my home, wow. What's so crazy is the hotel I was staying in, I moved right across the street in the apartments. Let me tell you how life works. If you destined to be somewhere and destined to be great, life will put you in a situation where it'll always remind you where you was at, so you can keep going, you can never look back. Every day I left that apartment, guess what I seen? I seen that hotel room. The same exact hotel room. Every time I bust that corner, you can see the room. And it reminded me every single day, if I go home stressed out, if I go home mad, I'm always turning that corner. I have to look that way to hit that corner. Stop. Look where you going. You ain't going right. You going left. So you have a different feeling about things. And then after that, after I got my first apartment, that's when Davon became Davon. That's when I became the man. I didn't become the man because of no women, because I wasn't doing it at the moment when I first moved to my apartment. I came Davon because I felt like I was the man. I was reading books, coming home loving myself. When I mean come home loving myself, I'm at home cooking to myself. I'm cooking, playing music, enjoying myself, playing the video game, writing, going on walks by myself, doing what I was doing by myself. Because once again, my OG told me, the one I moved in with when I left my house. Now, you know what? Let me backtrack. When I left the apartment, when I left the hotels, I went and stayed with my OG. No, I didn't. When I left the hotels, I went and me and my kid's mother got back together again. Once again, it went bad. We moved back out, and I went and moved with one of my OGs, the one I used to be in the streets with. He's my OG. I call him my aunt, and then boom, I moved in with him. Things once again, I kind of adapt easy when I'm sorry for jumping from place to place, but things are coming to me and I'm remembering now. But I mean, when I was staying with him, it was kind of easy because, I mean, that's what I grew up around. I grew up in the hood. Like, I grew up around all that stuff. So it was kind of easy for me to, like, just blend in and, you know, and be cool. And things were a little bit different because I had more people, so it was kind of more, it was more fun. New guy on the block, you know what I mean? Didn't really get into nothing, pretty much chilling. Minding my bed and chilling with my OG. You know what I mean? That's what my guy. That's who I chill with. So, you know what I mean? It was cool. And I mean, this hood, it was treacherous around there. I'm talking about you get caught slipping, they'll do you bad. But once again, just because I didn't bother nobody, and this is off, I'm gonna keep it real, this is off like 34th and Raider. Everybody know what MLK is off 34th and Raider. They know how it is, right? It's real wicked around there. I was able to, you know what I mean, move around like I wanted to because first of all, I respected people. I wasn't around there trying to act all hard. And even when I seen stuff, I didn't see nothing. I mind my bed and go to work, come home. And see, I can see that same person who did something. I ain't see nothing. Shit, I'm on my bed, and then they knew my OG. So it was kind of, it was a lot of love around there. And he wasn't even in the streets no more. So that's how heavy he was around there. You know, what I mean? He was known. So after that or whatever, you know what I mean? I got on my own. I got my first car that I pretty much got on my own. And before I got the car, it was kind of hard because a few roadblocks. People try to hate. You know, people was throwing things in my way to try to stop me, but they couldn't because I found the way out. I found the way to get around everything. So I got my first car. A Pontiac. Crazy '03 Pontiac. Got that car, took off. Went and got me a nice job then. Now I'm straight. Kids good, come over, we doing things, we out traveling, stuff like that. Then, hey, this ain't working, had to get an apartment. When I got an apartment, you know what I mean? After that, boom. Yeah, no, when I got an apartment, I'm like, well, hold up, this ain't working because I wanted more, like, this ain't, if I get put out today, well, I'm gonna go. This ain't benefiting me, just paying these people this money, and like I'm tired of being late, and they telling me, nah, you owe this and you gotta pay it by this date. You can't be no later than what it is, and if they put me out, all that money just going to waste. It ain't no refund for it, ain't nothing. No, how can I get out of this and get somewhere where I can have something? I was messing with this person, and they put me on game. They were like, you ever thought about doing this? I'm like, yeah. And then after that person told me, another person, they was actually in the process. They was like in the process of thinking about doing it. The person I was messing with or whatever, they had just they situation was going bad and stuff like that. Then she was telling me about it, and boom, I'm like, well, how you doing it? All right, cool. So then I once again I put my thing cap on, boom, because I'm already in the mode. I'm ready for information. I'm taking in all the information. I'm eating different. I'm looking at things different now. My life is open now, right? So I started looking and start digging, and boom, I found out everything I needed to get done to get a house. Now remember, I was the one who was homeless, didn't have nothing. When I came up here, I was homeless at a bus station for 3 days, and one of my bad guys took it because I let this guy play with me. Told me, get that money, go get change for it, and catch a bus where you need to go. And I'm thinking I'm finna go get the cash the whole time. He got my book bag, but guess what? I'm tell you how the man upstairs work. The bags he grabbed was coats and shoes. He didn't even grab the things he really needed to grab. So it was cool, right? It was cool. After that, fast forward now back to the house. When I got a house, me and the kids out late night looking. Me and my relative. My relative, I'm talking about one of the best women I met when it came to patience with me and understanding this guy I was messing with, my OG, man. I ain't gonna lie, I miss him, I ain't gonna lie. Cause he helped me with a lot. This guy helped me with a lot. He introduced me to his family. Like his family was pretty much my family, you know? And I never, you know what I mean, never forget that. I never forget that. The respect they had for me, the respect he had for me at that time, you know, it was all love. But things went bad. And I regret it because that was my guy. But things happen, you know? So after that or whatever, it's like I said, I got my house. The one I wanted came in something crazy. Couldn't believe it. And before that, let me tell you what I did. Every time I thought about something or I wanted to do something in my mirror in my apartments, I wrote on the mirror. Once again, this is on my social media. I wrote on the mirror about the things I wanted to do and like the things I'm going to do in life, right? Because in the book I was reading, 48 Powers of Law, pretty much tell you, you know what I mean, how to move, what to do. So I went by, and it's true. And then after that, then I started reading books. I started telling people, and people start hearing me say things, and like I'm speaking, like I'm talking, like I'm reading the book, and it was just naturally just flowing out of me. And one guy was like, "Hey, you ever thought about the art of war?" And then when I read that, let me tell you, I became something crazy out here. Not crazy, but I was, oof, and it's still with me today. And yeah, well, like I said, when it got me a spot, and that was it. You know, I feel like I did it. I did it. Got my dream car after I got my house. Like, you know, I did it. I got me a car on my birthday. Like, I did all of that stuff. You know what I mean? The things I wanted to do because I seen somebody else do it. It felt good. Now that once again, I look back hindsight, I feel good that I did it. I feel real good that I made the moves I made. And now, even now, like the car I got, like my Beamer, like, do you understand? I went from a Challenger to a Beamer. I always elevated in life because I always wanted more in life, right? And when you always want more in life, it'll show in your history. When you look back at your life, it'll show in your history what you said you was gonna be and what you was gonna do, what you stood up on. I always elevated. I went from a Pontiac to a Tahoe to a Challenger to a Beamer. And people can ask you, how you did that? How you got those cars? They'll tell you how I got it. I did it. Me, pushing, fighting, trying to figure this out, you know, and did it, and it worked out. And now I can sit back and say I did it. It's a lot of things is not a stress no more. Thank God. It's a lot of things that's not a stress no more to me now because I planted myself in a situation where in my life I always have to strive and do more. That's my situation, strive and do more. I always got to stay in that situation of striving and doing more. This ain't enough. I'm still working a 9 to 5, still to this day. I love YouTube. This is why I do this. This right here. I love YouTube because I like spreading and making people happy and laughing and getting joy out of all this. YouTube has been a blessing to my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. It helped me show people who I am without always saying the same story or always gotta prove or stuff like that because I'm not the one to prove. I'm nice-hearted, but then I'm not if you play with me. There's no third, fourth, it ain't none of that. Once you show me something, the heart hardens after a few times. It hardens, and if I can be around you, but it can be real. Like I'm careful, so it don't. I'm protected, so it's cool. People around me know it knows it. I'm always protected. When myself, me, I'm protected. I have to because I never remember where I was at before, and I'm not going back. I can't go back. My kids need me. But now, I'm expecting another one. Am I happy? I'm ecstatic. It's a girl. And just like my first two, she gonna be loved just like them. And I pray and hope that they all be bonded together and love each other. That's my goal. To be the one to be that glue to them, to make them lock tight. And just thinking about it is so crazy because life is so empty, you know? It's so empty. But you got to keep pushing and find love and find peace in what you do and what you like. I love my kids and I do a father. You know what I mean? That's what I do. I do being a father. And if I was a full-time father, yeah, for sure. And now I get, you know, and now it's like, okay, cool, let's do it. Showtime. So yeah, got 3 now. Am I done? For sure. Finito. Done. I want to focus on continue to strive and find ways to make myself happy, make things around me happy, my family happy. And by doing this, YouTube, I like doing YouTube. That's my thing. I like playing the video game. I'm more laid back now. I go out from time to time, drink a little bit, you know what I mean? Hang out with my guys sometimes. Other than that, I'm on the phone with my mom at home every day, talking to my nieces, talking to my homeboys, stuff like that. I'm very simple now because I know at the beginning, that's where I was at first. I was simple. So a lot of things don't come my way. A lot of beef and stuff don't come my way because I'm simple. I don't have too many people around me. You know? I don't let too many people around in my domain, in my sanctuary, my home, because of things have transpired in my home too. You know, I'm letting people in my house and they're recording me and stuff in my home. One of my guys know, if he's seeing this video, he know I had to restrain myself from doing what I really wanted to do in front of him. Because once again, you're doing things with God, you gotta know how to move. You gotta know how to move. You can't be just wilding out and go to jail for a long time. So be careful. But anyway, it's my sanctuary. Just like the gym, I love going to the gym. It just sometimes it be hard because I be mentally drained, you know. So, but I still go for sure. Still in shape. Still got it. But this is me. This is who I am. That's some of me of who I am. You know what I mean? We can go into some different scenarios, different situations where I was, stuff later on. If you want to know more, I can tell you more about the different situations. Just throw a topic out there and I'll keep it real, keep it honest with you. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, share it to all platforms. Also, I'm on Red Note now. Like I said, I'm active on like maybe 4 or 5 platforms now. It's a lot, but I'm pushing because I want my word to get out. I want to be heard. So I thank the people who helping me be heard. I appreciate you for that. But I pray everybody have a good night. Have a good day wherever you're at around the world. Because now I am known in China. Yeah. I'm communicating with people in China now. Which is wild to me. People over there really liking my content and supporting me. So, doing something different, you know. I know one day the financial part is going to come for sure. Because once again, I'm determined. I know it's going to happen, but I'm not really pushing forward with that. I'm just pushing forward. I like to speak. I like to talk to people. I like to help people. You know what I mean? Get through life. Keep pushing. So I hope this video sparks something in you to keep going. Don't stop and give it to the next person. Motivate your friends. Motivate your partners. You know what I mean? Your homegirl. Instead of twerking on the headlights, twerk on some bed and get an LLC or something. Do something. You know what I mean? Do something with yourself. Get your credit together, you know. Try it for at least one time. You never know. But yeah, let's do it, y'all. Let's have some fun, y'all. Let's live life to the fullest and really get the full meaning of it. And don't be so blind. I appreciate YouTube. I appreciate y'all for all doing this for me, helping me out. But it's the end of this episode of Days Channel 444. Peace.